Welcome to the social media marketing strategy process. This video series outlines all 10 steps. We're going to have most likely one video per step. You can follow along in your book as well, read it there. The chapters, sub-chapters from chapter 3 are fairly short. Some of them have good examples, interesting videos embedded. So if you want to have the most out of your experience and learn the most, follow along in the book as well. And if you haven't watched chapter 3 introduction video, watch that first as I explain the importance and relevance to your symptomship as well. This video will tackle step 1. It's like a building block, like building a house. Make sure the first steps are solid or else your house will fall apart later. Identifying a target market and creating personas. Super important. We talk about segmentation and the targeting process. Okay? Not a big deal though. Don't be scared. If you're not a marketing major, you got this. We're going to identify a target market. Super important. These have to do with your overall marketing goals as well. Social media is not something separate. It's going to be most likely the same target market as your overall marketing goals and objectives. Okay, but here for social media, it's important to collect a variety of demographic interests and behavioral data about the target market. We want to collect as much data as possible, so it's important this variety of not just demographics, it's also psychographics. These are interests and behavioral data for the target market. And your book lists a few here from age, behavioral, education, interest, income, but also your pain points. Most use social media network where you spend your time online and so on. This is very important. So the more clearly we can define our target group, the better we can understand how and where to reach our best prospects. And you can start off, if you are starting from zero, with broad categories like millennials, single moms, single dads, whatever. But you need to get much more detailed to achieve the best possible conversion rate. Obviously, get the most out of your money as well. The highest ROI, return on investment, okay? So don't be afraid to get highly specific. This is all about targeting your marketing efforts effectively, not just stopping people from buying your product. It's more about finding your fans, your superstars, super fans, turning them from followers into paying customers. And people who are not included in your target markets can still buy from you. Don't get them mistaken, okay? They're just not our top focus when it comes of crafting our marketing strategy and spending our marketing dollars. So we can't target everyone, but we can sell to everyone, if you not remember it that way, okay? You might be a critical thinker and ask yourself, but why? Why do we need all this data? Guess what? We need to learn as much as possible from our audience as we can. It's all about learn about your audience. And why is that important? A little flashback to Marketing 101. If you want to get anything from Principles of Marketing class, you have to know one thing. It's what? Know your customer. Know your customers. What are their needs? What are their pain points? Provide a profitable solution for them and their needs, and do it better than the competitors. You can turn off the video, go in the marketing world. You know marketing in a nutshell. Obviously, it's more intricate than that, so that's what we talk about. Everything in detail, all right? But this is Marketing 101, don't forget that. Let's look at an example. Example here on the top, we have the entire market, okay? Do we wanna market a product to the entire market? No, as I just hinted. Maybe our target market is only this small. This is the small. This is the pie. We're not that hungry today. This is all we need. Why? Of this small portion, which is maybe 5%, 10%, 20% of the whole market, doesn't matter how much. But of this market, our social media marketing dollars go the furthest. From this small portion, maybe, as an example, let's say roughly 80% of people, when we spend $1 here, 80% of people will react and make an action, sign up for a newsletter or buy a product, okay? Which means the dollar is well spent here in the small market. Compared to if we were to market to the entire pie here, maybe, unfortunately, of the rest of the pie, this big part, only about, let's say, as an example, these are not real numbers, just made up, but you visualize it and memorize it better. Only 5 to 8% will react or buy anything, do any action that we say. Why? They're not in our target audience. They're not our fans. They're not interested in our product at all. Why would we spend our marketing dollars there? Simple as that. This is why we got to break down our market. Everyone can still buy our product. That's okay. But we want to focus on our target market and make the pie smaller and smaller until it's so niche. We know these people here need our product, want our product, or they don't even know that they want it yet. We're going to market it to them. Okay. Usually the fewer members, the better. The more niche, the better. You want to have it highly particular niche, so you can dominate that niche. Doesn't mean other people cannot buy your product. They will still be able to buy your product. But our marketing efforts, we're going to go and to it to our target audience, target market. Here, after collecting data, you can create something called personas, which means we can group the target market into customer personas. Don't be scared. What is a persona? A customer persona represents key traits of a company's target market based on the data collected from existing and target customers, from both. Meaning, let's look at an example from Boohee Brands. That's your simulation, your symptomship you will do. They have a few. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though your book says 2 to 5 personas you can create based off data, sometimes you can do more, like your book does. Your book does it in 6. And we can see pretty fast, Dave Packer Tom dominates with about 30% of the market. Dave Packer Tom is our star. It's our star of our market. Here's where we want to spend our dollars, okay? But we don't want to exclude the others. We just want to keep a track of these personas of our target market, okay? And who are these people? Who's Dave Packer Tom? Who's Back to School Mindy? Who's City Hopper Sue? And so on. From your symptomship, they're predefined. You don't have to define it from scratch, but you can learn how they define it. Let's take a look at Dave Packer Tom. He's dominating the percentage of the market, 30%. His age, 24 to 31, male. The income, 25 to 35,000. Here, his interest summary, psychographic, demographic, pain points, values. What do they care about? Listed, okay? So personas is not just a made-up term. You will use that as a marketing officer in the real world. So don't just take it as, oh, it's I got to learn it for school and then forget about it. No, think about it. If you're in a meeting, marketing meeting, instead of repeating all these traits every time you want to talk about, hey, last quarter, how did age, male, 24 to 31, with an income of about $30,000, who are interested in this and this, do last quarter? That's a mouthful. Instead, you can just say, how did Dave Packer Tom do last month, last quarter? How was the sales? How was it for Christmas? Did it go up or down? You can take a look at trends. This is how simple you can then break down your target market based off the data. And this is not set in stone. This evolves over time, okay? Here's another example from your book when they talk about in a marketing meeting. Who's eco-friendly Erica and Eric? Guess what? It's predefined by you, by the company, and these characteristics change depending on external factors, obviously. These are not set in stone. I'll show you in a second why. So we can know these are students, single, low income. They care about social media interaction. They enjoy their hobbies in their free time. Also care about eco-friendly, cruelty-free products. So if we want to post an ad for them and spend dollars, make sure we mention key psychographics. These are the values and interests they care about, as an example. And the more we learn from our audience, the more likely we can create also a target market statement. This is an example from your student social media symptomship. It's called Boohee Brands. You'll learn that. Boohee Brands' primary market are ages 19 to 32. 90% of customers fall in this age group. Meaning, we could say, for Boohee Brands, a target market statement. Our target market is gender, age range, who live in, place, or city, and like to do what activity. This is a target market statement you can do based off your data. And as mentioned earlier, as hinted, these are not set in stone, especially if you have a new company. These evolve over time. You refine it over time because things happen in your environment. Example. Let's look at an example here from Marlboro. Quick disclaimer. Obviously, don't smoke. It's very bad. It's cancerous. unhealthy, it's terrible. But as marketers, let's look at an example from a product and how it changed. Obviously, this is pre-social media, but it's a form of media and it's marketing, and we can transfer what they did back then to current events and the social media platforms as well. Okay, I don't know if you know, Marlboro was not targeted towards men back in the day. Maybe you've seen the ads with cowboys and the men and the construction workers and whatnot. Back in the day, Marlboro cigarette created by Philip Morris was targeted towards women. It was all about beauty. It was all about ivory tips, protecting the lips and the lipstick, and mild as May. These are statements you hear. If you want to look them up today, you can still look them up. You can find ads, Marlboro towards women, beauty, Hollywood, okay? And this was Marlboro as a brand. Now, what happened in the 1950s, post-Second World War, around that time, a lot of new research came out and realized, oh my God, these cigarettes are terrible for you. Women stopped smoking less and less, and they had to shift. They have to shift. In 1954, they shifted completely towards men. Two problems they had. Marlboro was associated with women, feminine. They don't want to sell that towards the men. It was hard to make that transition. Also, now with the new research, they have to make a statement that, oh, this is now a healthier version. Okay, two things they did. Filter, they added a filter compared to unfiltered cigarettes back then. They had a filter now, which makes it, in their eyes, maybe more healthy, which is not the case. FYI, not the case. And new keywords, easy drawing, hardworking, and obviously in the ads, you see cowboys, you see men, you see maybe some football players that take the made ads, completely shifted. Why? Because the women smoked less and less, so they thought, we got to shift the market as well, the target audience, the target market towards men. This is where the Marlboro man, Marlboro country was invented, 1954, and so on. I think it died in 1999 overall, these ad campaigns, because of the obvious reasons and health reasons and restrictions on ads for cigarettes. Adjust as needed. Other brands, Atari in the 70s, 80s when it came out. Who is the target audience? It's kids, families, have fun. Okay, Atari now, who are they targeting? Are they still targeting families and kids? Wrong. They're targeting the same people though. They're targeting these people, but they're older now. They may be Gen X, maybe they're even baby boomers. Okay, they're targeting them, and they talk about how you remember growing up with them. So the target market changed over time. They're still trying to target the same people they targeted maybe 50 years ago, but they're older now, 40, 50 years ago, okay. Nvidia as an example, who was the target market? It was all gamers, PC enthusiasts, creators, everybody wants a graphics card. This was their target market for a reason. As an example, in 2018, total revenue around 10 billion. Gaming was more than half. More than half was from gaming. Data centers was less. This was in 2018. But let's take a look at 2022 and later, and especially today. I call it post-AI. It's obviously post-AI introduction. What's the focus now? Enterprises, cloud providers, Google, Microsoft, governments, AI startups. Why? 2026, about 200 billion revenue. Data centers eat up most of it, about 185 billion. Gaming, only about 14 billion. Okay. Even though the gaming number grew from 2018 from 5-6 billion to 14 billion, the data center number exponentially every year grew much more. Meaning, target market, social media marketing focus shifted from gamers. If you want to go, if you don't believe me, go to the waybackmachine.com, Wayback Machine. You can Google it, type in any website you want. You can find the website, how it looked back then. Look up for 2018 or before. Obviously, you can go further back. Focus is always gamers, gaming, school, and so on. Star Wars, the new graphics card, you can play the latest Star Wars game or whatever. Take a look at nvidia.com today, as of June 2026. Let's look at the keywords here. Data center, agents, AI, Every single clickable link on the front page as of June 2026 has to do with AI or data centers. Zero mentioning of gamers or gaming. Why? Well, I just showed you. That's where the money is. Okay. Not even 8 years ago. I remember that. That's my time. I was interested in GPUs as well, pre-COVID, obviously. Gaming share 60%, data centers 20%. Today, shifted big time. NVIDIA's focus is data centers. About 90% of revenue comes from there compared to gaming. It doesn't mean they don't sell gaming products anymore. However, focus is data centers. They will get it first. They buy it in quantities. And me and you as individuals, we have to wait. We have to wait for our graphics card. It's going to be out of stock for months. We have to research where to get it. We're not the focus anymore. So think about this, what this means as NVIDIA, as a company. And if you're not that tech savvy, not familiar with the product of NVIDIA, they're just selling this computer part, so to simplify it. It's a graphics card. That's what they're famous for, this graphics processing unit. And me and you, individuals in the millions of consumers, of customers, were the primary target because we made the most share out of the revenue. That was the gaming share back in the day, almost 60%. Okay, now shifted to a small number of massive B2B buyers, business to business buyers. So they didn't just reposition their brand, they changed who the customer is, going from selling to gamers and individuals to selling almost entirely to tech giants such as the Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta, you name them, who are building these AI data centers and providing AI services. It doesn't mean we as individuals were not buying their products. We're still buying their products, but we're not their focus anymore for their marketing efforts as seen in the previous screenshots from their website. This all happens all the time because of environmental scanning. A little flashback, we talked about this. Look around process. And if we have technology changed so much, for NVIDIA, it was the introduction of the AI and the big data centers. They have to shift and pivot as well their target market. They just follow the dollar as a business. You just do that. Okay. This is the environmental scanning in action. Alrighty. Awesome. That was identifying a target market and creating personas. Not a difficult thing to process, but important, super important and relevant for the real world. In the next video, we'll tackle how to conduct a social media audit.